table under the fluorescent glow. We need to find the reason why it had to go. I've got the scalpel and I've got the chart to find the exact moment of the stopping heart. It looked healthy from the outside, a perfect design, but something was rotting on the inside of the line. This is love's autopsy, a cold hard look at every page we tore from the book. Was it a lack of oxygen or a slow-acting poison? The result of 1,000 wrong decisions. We're cutting through the muscle and the memory and the bone to find out why we're dying here alone. Here is the scar from the summer of 19, and the bruising from the things that were never seen. The lungs are filled with the smoke of our pride, and the valves of the heart are all shriveled and dry. There's no blood in the vessels, just a bitter old ink. We were closer to the edge than we dared to think. Seal it in a jar, put it on a shelf, a lesson for my future lonely self. It wasn't a sudden crash or a lightning strike, just a slow motion failure of the things we like. This is love's autopsy, a cold hard look at every page we tore from the book. Was it a lack of oxygen or a slow-acting poison? The result of 1,000 wrong decisions. We're cutting through the muscle and the memory and the bone to find out why we're dying here alone. Time of death, midnight in May. Pack the instruments and walk away. We started out as a bow, perfectly tight, with all of our secrets tucked safely inside. A satin connection, smooth to the touch. I didn't think asking for forever was much, but the edges started curling in the heat of the fight, and the fabric started thinning in the cold of the night. Now we're just a tattered ribbon, a frail little string that can't hold the weight of a single damn thing. The color is bled and the silk is all torn, a bedraggled reminder of why we were born. One little tug and the whole thing unravels into the dust of our long distance travel. I'm trying to mend, but you can't fix a break at the very far end. It's slipping through my fingers like a ghost of a rope. The dying remains of a threadbare hope. It used to be beautiful, it used to be strong. Now it's just a shadow of where we belong. Cut the ties or let them just fall. There's no use in holding on to nothing at all. It's a tangled up mess of a you and a me, and I'm finally letting the ribbon go free. Now we're just a tattered ribbon, a frayed little string that can't hold the weight of a single damn thing. The color is bled and the silk is all torn, a bedraggled reminder of why we were born. One little tug and the whole thing unravels into the dust of our long distance travel. Falling apart, thread by thread, the ribbon is broken, and our love is dead. I saw you today at the light in your car. You looked just the same, but you felt like a star. Millions of light years away from my side. Even though I'm the girl who once was your bride, you're breathing and walking and eating and sleep while I'm in a funeral, quiet and deep. I'm mourning the living, I'm grieving the ghost of the man that I used to love the very most. There's no grave to visit, no flowers to lay, just the person I pass on the street every day. It's a heartbreaking paradox, a lifelong regret, to cry for a man who hasn't died yet. I heard you were happy, I heard you were well, and it feels like a ringing of a slow-moving bell. The world keeps on spinning for you and your new watching the clouds start to thicken into. I've got a recording of that night in July when the thunder was screaming hello and goodbye. The rhythm of the droplets on the tin overhead is the only thing filling this empty side bed. I'm replaying the rain, I'm looping the storm, trying to keep the memory of your body warm. The splash in the driveway, the leak in the hole, the sound of the moment we lost it all. Water and static in the scent of the wet, the only part of us I haven't lost yet. Every drop is a word that I can't quite retrieve, a liquid reminder of why you had to leave. I can hear your car door slamming through the downpour, the petite finale to our evermore. The sky was just crying because it knew the end. And I'm just a girl who's lost her best friend. Dry weather is boring, the sun is too loud. I'm looking for cover underneath the dark cloud. Let the floodwaters rise till they cover my knees. I'm at home in the wreckage of the stormy seas. I'm replaying the rain, I'm looping the storm, trying to keep the memory of your body warm. The splash in the driveway, the leak in the hall, the sound of the moment we lost it all. Water and static and the scent of the wet, the only part of us I haven't lost yet. Drip, drip, the sky is so gray. I'm replaying the rain till I wash away. I'm riding in the dirt with a broken stick. The air in my lungs is getting heavy and thick. I've got 1,000 pages of things I should have said, but they're all locked up in the back of my head. So I whisper to the clouds and I talk to the moon, hoping that the wind carries the message soon. They're just unsent letters to the sky, asking the universe the reason why. No stamps and no envelopes, no names on the front, just the honest truth and the jagged edge hunt for a piece of an answer or a sign from above, from the tattered remains of a terminal. I told the stars about the way you used to sleep and the promises that I was too fragile to keep. I sent a paragraph up with the morning mist about the very last time that we were ever kissed. The blue is my paper, the sun is my ink. I'm saying much more than you'd ever think. Maybe the rain is your way of replying, a cold wet comfort for a girl who is dying to hear just one word or a the celestial space. They're just unsent letters to the sky, asking the universe the reason why. No stamps and no envelopes, no names on the front, just the honest truth and the jagged edge hunt for a piece of an answer or a sign from above, from the tattered remains of a terminal love. Sending my nothing to the phantom you. Remember the neon of our first July, electric purple in a midnight sky. We talked in emerald and we laughed in gold, a story of fire that would never grow cold. We were a rainbow in a black and white town, before the rain started coming on down. We used to speak in color, vivid and bright, and now we're just whispers in the middle of the night. The red is all faded to a dusty old brown, and the blue is the only thing left in this town. I'm looking for the yellow, I'm looking for the spark, but we're just two shadows in the deep of the dark. Now when you call me, it's a shade of pale gray, a monochromatic version of what you wanna say. There's no more crimson in the way that you kiss, no more silver in the things that we miss. Just the beige of the walls and the white of the bone, the palette of people who are living alone. Give me one brush stroke of how it once felt, before all the pigments started to melt. I'm starving for sapphire, I'm dying for green, but I'm stuck in the dullest of every scene. We used to speak in colors, vivid and bright, and now we're just whispers in the middle of the night. The red is all faded to a dusty old brown, and the blue is the only thing left in this town. I'm looking for the yellow, for the spark, but we're just two shadows in the deep of the dark. sun is too bright on the kitchen floor. I don't wanna face this day anymore. I made a whole pie, but I'm drinking it black, waiting for the feeling of you to come back. The steam is a whisper that disappears fast, just like the love that we swore was gonna last. It's bitter coffee in a cold, empty bed, replaying the things that you should have never said. The caffeine is shaking the heart in my chest, while I'm failing the simple and everyday test of living and breathing and moving along, with a bitter taste in soul and a broken down song. The sheets are all tangled and they're icy to touch. I didn't think I'd miss your snoring this much. The silence is heavy as a bucket of lead. I'm wishing I could just stay in my head, where you're still making breakfast and laughing at me, and the coffee is sweet as it's supposed to be. One more sip and I'll put on my shoes. One more hour of the I lost you blues. The porcelain is cracked and the heater is broke, and our whole forever was a cruel little joke. It's bitter coffee and a cold, empty bed, replaying the things that you should have never said. The caffeine is shaking the heart in my chest, while I'm failing the simple and everyday test of living and breathing and moving along, with a bitter taste in soul and a broken down song. No sugar, no heat. The morning is a bittersweet defeat. I'm standing on the porch in the biting cold, holding on to stories that have grown too old. I raised my hand and I let it fall. The sound was hollow, the sound was small. I can see the flicker of the TV light, but you're staying hidden from me tonight. It's an unanswered knock on a heavy oak door. I'm not the person you're waiting for anymore. The wood is thick and the hinges are tight, and I'm just a stranger in the porch light wide. I'm hitting the surface until my knuckles are blue, but there's no way, and there's no more you. Yeah. a key, I used to walk right in. Back when our love didn't feel like a sin. Now I'm checking the windows, I'm checking the latch, but the fire is dead, and I've used my last match. I can hear your footsteps moving away into the parts of the house where I can't stay. Should I shout your name to the neighborhood? Would you open up if you knew that I could change everything that I ever did wrong? But the silence is steady and the silence is strong. Oh, it's an unanswered knock on a heavy oak door. I'm not the person you're waiting for anymore. The wood is thick and the hinges are tight, and I'm just a stranger in the porch light wide. I'm hitting the surface until my knuckles are blue, but there's no way. And there's no more you. I'm walking away. The gravel is low, just a fading shadow in a lonely crowd. I took the exit that I never take, past the old diner and the edge of the lake. I'm driving in circles, I'm killing the time, counting the steeples and the hills that I climb. The GPS is begging me to turn back around, but I'm not ready for what I haven't found. I'm taking the long way home tonight, avoiding the glow of the porch light, because once I'm inside, the silence is real, and I have to remember the way that I feel. So I'll stay in the car, I'll stay on the road, carrying this heavy and hollow load out. The key in my pocket feels like a weight, a tiny brass ticket to a lonely cafe. I pass by the park where we used to go, but the swings are all empty and the grass doesn't grow. I'd rather be moving, I'd rather be lost than facing the cold and the December frost. One more mile, one more bridge to cross, calculated detours to measure the loss. The fuel light is blinking, a red little light warning me that I can't outrun the goodbye. I'm taking the long way home tonight, avoiding the glow of the porch light white, because once I'm inside, the silence is real, and I'll have to I'm a sentence that ends in a middle point blur, a shadow of the woman that I thought we were. I go to the market and I buy half the bread, but I can't seem to quiet the half voice in my head. I'm just half of a whole, I'm a broken off piece, waiting for the ache in my chest to decrease. I'm a lopsided rhythm, a song with no hook, the missing page from a favorite book. I'm walking in circles, I'm tilting to the side, because the best part of me has already died. I see my reflection in a cracked up glass, watching the ghost of our chemistry pass. I'm missing your logic, I'm missing your heat. I'm a dirty old sidewalk on a dead-end street. I try to stand tall, but I'm leaning on air, finding out quickly that you're no longer there. Can a person survive as a fraction of one? Can the moon keep on glowing without any sun? I'm solving the math, but the answer is wrong. I've been less than for way too long. I'm just half of a whole, I'm a broken off piece, waiting for the ache in my chest to decrease. I'm a lopsided rhythm, a song with no hook, the missing page from a favorite book. I'm walking in circles, I'm tilting to the side, because the best part of me has already died. 50% of a heart and a soul, searching for the rest of the whole. I'm crossing out the lines that don't make sense, building a wall out of past tense and fence. We were a story that was written in haste, a lot of good paper that went to waste. I've got the red pen and I'm making the marks where we lost the fire and we lost all the sparks. This is the final draft of us, the end of the script, where the pages are yellowed and the binding is ripped. No more revisions, no more one last try, just a period at the end of a long-winded lie. The ink is all dry and the story is told, a classic edition that's already old. I removed the chapter where we moved to the coast, and the one where I loved you the very, very most. It's a shorter book now, a pamphlet of pain, recording the losses and ignoring the gain. I'm checking the grammar of our last I love you to see if the predicate was actually true. The characters changed and the plot fell apart, a structural failure in the beat of the heart. Close the cover and put it on the back of the shelf. I'm starting a new book all by a sequel inside, just the final truth and the fading light. Took the elevator to the very top, where the city noise and the heartbeat stop. I'm living in the clouds in a glass wall cage, the final chapter on a lonely page. I can see the lights of the cars below, but I'm trapped in a world where nothing can grow. I'm on the quietest floor of the tallest hotel, with a view of the heaven and a taste of the hell. No neighbors knocking, no pipes that hum, waiting for a visitor who's never gonna come. The air is thin and the carpet is deep, and I'm the only secret that the penners keep. Just to hear a voice, but the thank you I got didn't feel like a choice. It's a professional echo of a human sound, while my heart is a weight that is pulling me down. I look at the sky and I look for your home, but I'm just a queen on a altitude throne. Down on the street, they are falling in love, while I'm watching the stars from the silence above. It's peaceful up here, or so I've been told, but peace is just another way of saying I'm cold. I'm on the quietest floor, the tallest hotel, with a view of the heaven and a taste of the hell. No neighbors knocking, no pipes that hum, waiting for a visitor who's never gonna come. Tallest hotel with a view of the heaven and a taste of the hell. No neighbors knocking, no pipes that hum, waiting for a visitor who's never gonna come. Woke up this morning with a mark on my chest, a purple reminder of a failed little test. It's perfectly symmetrical, a soft tender ache, a physical record of a giant mistake. You didn't mean to leave it, or maybe you did. A secret that under my sweater is hid is a heart-shaped bruise, a colorful stain, a localized version of a permanent pain. It's yellow at the edges and blue in the deep, a promise that I wasn't supposed to keep. I'm pressing my thumb on the center of the hurt, watching the ghost of our passion assert. It'll fade in a week to a dull shade of green, until the trauma is no longer seen. But I'll know it's there beneath the new skin. The place where the damage decided to win. A souvenir of the way that you held me too tight in the middle of a desperate and dark July night. Some people wear rings and some people wear ink. I wear the shadows that make me rethink everything I thought I knew about grace, encoded in a mark that time will erase. It's a heart-shaped bruise, a colorful stain, a localized version of a permanent pain. It's yellow at the edges and blue in the deep, a promise that I wasn't supposed to keep. I'm pressing my thumb on the center of the hurt, watching the ghost of our passion assert. Tender to touch, fading to gray. The heart-shaped bruise is here to stay. I'm scrolling through the archives on my tired mind, looking for the footage that we left behind. The mornings in the kitchen for the coffee turned cold, the secrets in the hallway that were never quite told. We edited the movie to fit a happy end, but I'm stuck on the clips that we didn't intend. I'm watching the deleted scenes tonight, the ones that didn't make it to the light, the arguments we swallowed, the tears we didn't cry, the moment that I knew you were gonna say goodbye. Is the raw, unedited version of us, turning all our silver screen dreams into dust. There's a shot of us dancing in the pouring rain, before the water started to feel like pain, and a close-up of your eyes when you looked away, knowing exactly what you couldn't say. I'm replaying the errors, the glitches and the flaws in the empty theater of a love without a cause. The director walked out and the lights all went dim. I'm left with the scraps and the ghost of him, cutting and pasting the could have beens, lost in the wreckage of the deleted scenes. I'm watching the deleted scenes tonight, the ones that didn't make it to the light, the arguments we swallowed, the tears we didn't cry, the moment that I knew you were gonna say goodbye. It's the raw, unedited version of us, turning all our silver screen dreams into dust. Cut to black, credits high, just a reel of mistakes and a long goodbye. I was dropping a glass in the sink today, and for a second the silence just melted away. I heard that cicada, that rise and that fall, the sound that used to bounce off every single wall. It was warm and it was wild and it was perfectly you, a haunting little echo that I'm passing through. It's the ghost of your laugh, a phantom in the air. I turn my head quickly, but there's nobody there. It's caught in the curtains and the cracks in the floor, a sound that I won't ever hear anymore. It's a beautiful torture, a melodic sting, the ghost of the joy that you used to bring. I try to hum over it to drown it out, but it's louder than my sorrow, it's louder than my doubt. It rings in the hallway when the wind blows right, a digital recording in the middle of the night. I remember the joke that started the fire. Now I'm just a listener on a broken down. Why is it my mind playing tricks in the dark, searching for a flame from a long dead spark? I'd give all my silence for one real breath, but I'm just coexisting with this auditory death. It's the ghost of your laugh, a phantom in the air. I turn my head quickly, but there's nobody there. It's caught in the curtains and the cracks in the floor, a sound that I won't ever hear anymore. It's a beautiful torture, a melodic sting, the ghost of the joy that you used to bring. Haunting me like a favorite song, the ghost of your laugh where it doesn't belong. Here's a brochure for Paris in the bottom drawer, right next to the keys for our old apartment door. We were gonna buy a house with a porch and a swing. We were gonna find the meaning in a wedding ring. Now the ink is all dry and the paper is torn, and I'm wishing that these visions were never even born. I'm living on leftover dreams, cold and stale, like a ship that's been stripped of its motor and sail. I'm tasting the promise of a life we didn't lead, choking on the harvest of a rotted out seed. It's a feast for a ghost, it's a banquet of almost, and I'm the one left on this desolate coast. been hanging on the hook behind the pantry door since the Tuesday night you decided we were no more. I haven't moved it once, haven't breathed it same. I'm just watching the record of where our time went. The denim is fading in the afternoon sun, a memorial to a battle that nobody won. There's dust on your jacket, a thin gray veil, like a ship in a bottle that's forgotten how to sail. I'm scared if I touch it, the memory will break, or I'll find a lingering piece of the lake. It's becoming a part of the wall and the wood, frozen in time like I wish that we could. I saw a straight thread dangling down from the sleeve, like the loose end of a story that you didn't leave. I thought about washing it, clearing the shelf, but I'm not ready to face this house by myself. So I let the particles settle like snow on the only part of you that didn't go. Maybe by winter it'll blend with the paint, a silhouette of a sinner or a ghost of a saint, until I can't tell where the fabric ends and the silence of my loneliness begins. There's dust on your jacket, a thin gray veil, like a ship in a bottle that's forgotten how to sail. I'm scared if I touch it, the memory will break, or I'll find a lingering piece of the ache. It's becoming a part of the wall and the wood, frozen in time like I wish that we could. Gray layers settling down, the quietest thing in this town. It's not like the movies with a crashing of glasses, a slow motion ride in the middle of the grasses, a hairline fracture in the base of the soul, the loss of the friction, the loss of control. It's the way that the oxygen leaves the room before the first flower starts to wither and gloom. This is the anatomy of a break, the structural failure of a giant mistake. It starts in the nerves and it ends in the bone, the science of being completely alone. First the numbing, then the sharp stinging heat, then the sound of a heart that broken hearts. There's no blood on the floor, there's no wound in the skin, but I'm dying from everything happening within. This is the anatomy of a break, the structural failure of a giant mistake. It starts in the nerves and it ends in the bone. The science of being completely alone. First the numbness, then the sharp stinging heat, then the sound of a heart that has missed its last beat. The diagnosis is terminal loss. Count the damage and the cost. There's a dent in the mattress where you used to lay, and a spot on the carpet that's starting to fray. The air in the corner still feels like your scent, a permanent record of where your love went. I try to walk through it, but I hit a wall. The invisible memory of having it all. It's the space you occupied, a hole in the room, a hollowed out garden that's forgotten to bloom. I'm tracing the outlines of where you should be, but you're just a vacuum that's swallowing me. The volume of absence is a weight I can't hide in the terrifying space that you occupy. I put a vase of flowers on your side of the desk, but the beauty feels forced and the scene is grotesque. Nothing can fill up the shape of your soul, not 1,000 new hobbies or a new set of goals. You carved out a piece of the world for yourself, then you left all the remains on a dusty old shelf. If box in the hall with the middle pages missing, like you gave up on it all. The metaphors are jagged and the rhymes don't quite fit, like the way that we loved and the way that you quit. I'm reading the ink of the things we once felt before all the ice started to suddenly melt. It's red page poetry, a story in parts, written in the margins of our fractured hearts. The best lines are gone, torn out at the root, leaving me here with the bitter tasting fruit of a poem that ended before the last verse. A beautiful blessing that turned into a curse. I try to write the ending with the pen of my own, but I'm shaky and tired and I'm always alone. I can't find the rhythm that we used to share when the words were as light as the summertime air. Now it's just scribbles and blood color stains, recording the losses and ignoring the gains. Maybe the silence is the point of the song. Maybe the blank space is where we belong. Tearing the paper until it is thin, to see where the lies of the poet begin. It's red page poetry, a story in parts, written in the margins of our fractured hearts. The best lines are gone, torn out at the root, leaving me here with the bitter tasting fruit of a poem that ended before the last verse. A beautiful blessing that turned into a curse. Frayed edges, ink on my hands. Nobody understands.